At 19, Amy Purdy survived meningococcal meningitis, but lost both her legs below the knee. Pursuing her dream of becoming a world-class snowboarder, Amy medaled at the 2014 Paralympic Games and followed that with a second-place finish on TV's Dancing with the Stars. Today, Amy is traveling the country sharing her inspirational story and encouraging others to overcome obstacles and shape the life they want. I'm so happy to welcome Amy Purdy along with her mom Sherry and also Dr. Chung to the show. Good morning to you all.
Good morning. Thank you.
Amy, you got meningitis when you were about 18 or 19. Can you walk us through that experience and kind of, how it changed your life?
Yes, I was 19 years old when I contracted meningococcal meningitis. I had never heard of it before. And it really just started with flu-like symptoms. I was at work one day. I felt great at the beginning of the day, but towards the end, I started to feel like I was coming down with the flu. My back was a little bit achy, my neck was a little achy, I had a slight temperature, typical flu-like symptoms. But within 24 hours, I was in the hospital on life support, given less than a 2% chance of living. Come to find out, it wasn't the flu, it was meningococcal meningitis. And over the course of 2.5 months, I ended up losing my spleen, lost my kidney function, lost the hearing in my left ear, and also ended up losing both of my legs below the knees. And come to find out that we can protect ourselves against this disease. And that's why my mom and I have teamed up with Pfizer on the Take Action Against Meningitis campaign to educate people about the bacteria and ways that they can protect themselves.
Well, it's so great to have the support of your mom. And Sherry, looking back at that time when Amy was diagnosed with meningitis, what do you remember about that? Had to be pretty tough, I'm sure.
It took 3 days for us to find out that it was meningococcal meningitis, 3 days into the hospital admission. And during that time, I mean, she nearly died a couple of times. It was a very traumatic, heartbreaking. It was a 2-month hospital stay and a much longer recovery. So it was shocking because we just thought we were dealing with the flu to begin with, but then it quickly progressed into something more serious, meningococcal meningitis, and something that we had never heard of before. So as Amy said, that's why we're happy to be part of the Take Action Against Meningitis campaign, to be able to let parents and young adults know more information than we knew at that time.
Well, and we love that you were taking this story and really turning it into something positive. Dr. Chung, what is meningococcal meningitis for our viewers that maybe haven't heard of it? Or are there different types of meningitis that we should be aware of?
Sure. Meningococcal meningitis is an invasive bacterial infection that targets the lining around your brain and spinal cord. It's an uncommon infection, but it's a severe infection when it happens. And early symptoms are very tricky, very flu-like, and so not all patients will come seek care. Not all healthcare providers will make the diagnosis early. And so far too many people will go on to have life-altering consequences and even death in the acute phase. And so this is something that we're working hard to try to prevent altogether. There are 5 key types of this bacteria that we're working against. And thankfully, as of last year, we now have vaccines against all 5 types. And so the main message here is about prevention, about talking to your healthcare provider, making a thoughtful decision around getting immunized.
Yeah, pretty scary. So when Amy was diagnosed as a teenager as well, why is it that teens and young adults are more at risk for meningococcal
For this particular
meningitis?
bacteria, teens are one of the primary carriers of this bacteria, meaning it can sort of sit in the back of the throat without causing symptoms. Other aspects of life during that particular phase, including close-quartered livings, like in a dorm setting, sharing utensils and cups and those sorts of things, can also transmit the bacteria pretty readily from one person to another. And so for a variety of reasons, teens and young adults are really the target population for immunization and really our message today.
Prevention really is key. So, Amy, talk about prevention that you're here to talk about, the Action Against Meningitis campaign. How can people get involved in that and take their own precautions?
People can go to the website, takeactionagainstmeningitis.com. There you will get information on meningococcal meningitis. You can also make a pledge there to speak with your healthcare provider about options on how to protect yourselves and your kids against meningococcal meningitis. While on the website, you can also, when you make that pledge, Pfizer will donate $1 up to $20 to the nonprofit organization that I started called Adaptive Action Sports, which helps kids and wounded vets and people with physical disabilities get involved in different sports. But really, by going to takeactionagainstmeningitis.com, you can educate yourself and also take action to help protect your family against this disease.
Some really great resources out there. So as we close here, Sherry, what advice would you give to parents as kids are heading back to the classroom? What would you share from a parent's perspective to get your kids prepared?
It's a good time of year to talk about this, and I would not want another parent to go through what I went through, especially when there's protection out there. So I strongly encourage parents to take a look at the website, takeactionagainstmeningitis.com, to find out more about the disease and how they can help protect themselves, and also to talk to their healthcare providers about protection as well.
Thank you all so much for helping spread awareness about this, and I hope people take action, and thank you for sharing such an inspirational story as well. So we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. We're going to have more posted online. Just go to our website, fox4morningblend.com.